Have you ever noticed how the most powerful moments of connection often happen without a single word being spoken? That slight nod from a colleague who understands your struggle, the gentle hand on your shoulder when you're having a tough day. These tiny, wordless gestures often solve problems that hours of conversation couldn't touch. Today, we're diving into something I've been fascinated by for years: the incredible power of non-verbal communication and how these small gestures can actually solve some of life's biggest problems. We live in a world obsessed with talking. Everyone's shouting to be heard, crafting the perfect comebacks, or overthinking what to say next. But what if I told you that the most meaningful connections and solutions often happen in those quiet spaces between words? In today's video, I'll share 3 game-changing insights about silent gestures. First, we'll explore why these small actions bypass our defensive walls. Then, I'll show you specific micro-gestures that defuse tension instantly. Finally, I'll give you practical ways to develop this silent fluency in your own relationships. Whether you're struggling with a difficult coworker, navigating family tensions, or trying to deepen your closest relationships, these techniques will transform how you connect with others. When we're in conflict, our words often become weapons. We get defensive, our rational brain shuts down, and we prepare counter-arguments before the other person has even finished speaking. Sound familiar? But here's what's fascinating. Gestures bypass this verbal battlefield entirely. Studies show that non-verbal cues are processed by different parts of our brain than spoken language. When someone shows understanding through a gesture, it reaches us on a primal level before our defensive walls can block it. Last year, I was having this heated disagreement with my brother about something so trivial I can't even remember what. We were both digging in, getting nowhere. Then my sister-in-law simply walked by and placed 2 cups of coffee between us without saying a word. That small gesture, that acknowledgement that we both needed space to breathe, completely diffused the situation. We both laughed, and suddenly the problem seemed so much smaller. These gestures work because they communicate one powerful message: I see you. Not your argument, not your position, but you as a human being worthy of acknowledgement. And that recognition is often what we're really seeking in our conflicts. Let's get practical. Here are 5 small gestures with outsized impact. The validation nod. That small, slow nod while maintaining eye contact that says, I'm really listening, can prevent a person from escalating because they feel heard. The open palm, simply turning. Your palms up during a conversation signals openness and vulnerability, which invites the same from others. The shared pause, sometimes just sitting in comfortable silence together, creates space for resolution that words can't achieve. The light touch, a brief touch on the forearm, when appropriate and comfortable, creates instant connection through oxytocin release. The mirrored posture, subtly matching someone's body position, creates subconscious rapport and signals, we're in this together. I watched my colleague Emma use the validation nod during a tense meeting where a client was upset about project delays. While everyone else jumped to defensive explanations, Emma simply maintained eye contact, nodded slowly to acknowledge the client's frustration, and then leaned forward slightly. The client visibly relaxed before Emma even offered solutions. By the end of the meeting, what could have been a lost account became a strengthened relationship. So how do we develop this skill? Here are 3 practices you can start today. The mirror exercise. Spend 5 minutes each day in front of a mirror, practicing different facial expressions and hand gestures. This increases your awareness of how you're communicating non-verbally. The observation game. Next time you're in a public space, observe how people interact without words. Note which gestures create connection and which create distance. Silence challenge. Try having a meaningful conversation with someone where you commit to 30 seconds of silence after they finish speaking. You'll be amazed at how this space allows for deeper understanding. I've found that practicing these skills has transformed not just my difficult relationships, but also my closest ones. Last month, my partner was going through a rough time at work. Instead of bombarding her with questions or advice, I simply sat beside her and matched my breathing to hers. After a few minutes, she started opening up in a way my questions never could have achieved. The beauty of these silent gestures is that they're universal. They cross cultural barriers, they work in professional and personal settings, and they require no special talent, just presence and intention. In our noisy world, developing this silent fluency might be the most powerful communication skill you'll ever learn. When words fail, and they often do in our most important moments, these small gestures can bridge divides that seem impossible to cross. So here's my challenge to you. This week, identify one relationship where communication feels stuck. Choose one gesture from today's video and intentionally practice it in that relationship. Then come back and let me know in the comments how it went. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more content on deepening your connections and navigating life's challenges. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.